Peace, love, and light collective coming on here to bring a message. If this message resonates, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you to all of those who have liked, commented, subscribed, sent donations. Thank you so much. Those who have book readings, thank you. All the new subscribers, shout out to the new subscribers. This message is coming on because I've been inspired after seeing a video recently about someone who's in a position who's fairly well to do, who's considered fair to do, or this person is rather, they're doing well, they're considered doing well in life, has an education, doing well financially, and this person I'm gonna, keep the person anonymous for a very specific reason. The person came on on their channel and recently started expressing how they feared what's going on with the current state, in this country. Without revealing too much, this person expressed that, they're concerned about the current state of the country. Specifically, they're concerned about the current state of people of African descent, because there's just been so much, fear mongering. There's been so much out there in the media showing basically how people of color are being slaughtered by these police officers. So this person was commenting on this, and this person was speaking on how they relate to this, and it brings a certain level of fear, and also it brings a certain level of concern for whatever is about to happen with these with the political agenda. And as this person was speaking, they started getting very emotional, and you can tell that they were very touched by what they were saying. And, this person began tearing up because this is something that is near and dear to them. And as this person was speaking, my spirit spoke to me as well. And it made me think about how a lot of times many of us would rather cry than fight. And this is not to say that that's what this person was doing. And this is really more so my spirit speaking to me about what I know personally from, having been, socialized in this system, having gone through the system of education and, being socialized and into this very system that this person is speaking of. My spirit spoke to me and said, sometimes the very system that, that has indoctrinated you, that has taught you, quote unquote, taught you. Really, I use the word indoctrination because that's what it is. Because education tends to be a sort of indoctrination of some sort. The very system that indoctrinates you into this system, through education, through the media, through whatever sources they do, doesn't necessarily give you the tools to own your power. Okay, the system more so and this is part of what an indoctrination is. It's like you're indoctrinated into a system that teaches you to stay in a certain position and doesn't really teach you that you can elevate to a different position. And in relation to this video, it's really like showing clearly like this person has been indoctrinated into this mindset that they are more of a victim than a warrior, a fighter. And this may not necessarily be the person's mindset. That's what my spirit is saying. And this is the message that I'm receiving as I'm seeing this. A lot of times we are taught to cry. We are taught to sulk. We are taught to question and stay questioning why X, Y, and Z is happening, instead of actually picking up the tools that we have to be resilient, to stand up for ourselves. And many a times we have to realize that when we go through the various systems of education, so-called education, we're not taught to be resilient. We're taught to be dependent. And as soon as the very source that we've been taught to be dependent on starts to show its face, because at some point it just seems like, things are being revealed, or people are beginning to wake up. And this is why you see a lot of folks are now getting emotional, because it's like whatever sleep they were under, and this is figuratively or physically, meaning that there are things that they didn't see before that they're seeing now. They're beginning to see that the very system that quote unquote was supposed to be for them is not necessarily for them. And they're beginning to feel as if like they've been let down. And this is the time for many who kind of like still have the veil like over their eyes, like they're beginning to feel deceived. And instead of actually picking up the tools that they have to fight for themselves, to stand up and be resilient, many are beginning to cry. And this is a phenomena that puzzles me. It puzzles me, and there may be different things that are attached to why this is happening the way that it is happening. But the puzzling to me comes from what I know from the nature of people who have been, kind of sleepwalking for such a long time and are beginning to wake up. In the initial stage of like waking up from this sleepwalking, like part of me is saying this is the initial stages of what is happening when they've realized that they've been deceived. Like it's like to cry and feel like you've been deceived. And then you have other folks that once they realize that they've been deceived, their reaction is not to cry, but their reaction is to pick up the tools that they've been given to assure that they stand in a position of resilience. Now, it's like what differentiate these two folks have everything to do with the foundations that they've been given. And for many people of African descent, those who have a strong Afrocentric background, like a strong spiritual background, are more likely to be able to see the tools that they've been given, which is African spirituality, and they will pick up those tools that is necessary for them to stand resilient. Now, those who have been given the tools by their very own oppressors are more likely to be in this state of resentment. They're more likely to be in this state of, oh my goodness, what just happened? And a lot of times those are the very people that tend to, because they feel deceived, by some source that they consider to be sort of like, some source that they feel that they may have feel like supported them, that feeling of this deception really hits harder. And it tends to leave many of them feeling like they're crippled and they have nowhere to turn to and nowhere to go. As opposed to those who have been given an Afrocentric foundation, they're more likely to be able to pick up the tools necessary. Now, where is this message going? This is really an observation. And what I've been given by my spirit guides is this. You may be tempted to cry, but it is more to your benefit to pick up the tools that you've been given to fight. It is better to pick up the tools that you've been given and be in this race, be in this fight instead of crying, because at this time there's really, and this may sound insensitive, but it's not, there's really no time to shed tears and cry. And if you do, it's only but for a moment, because there's gonna come a time where you must pick up the resources and tools that you have and use it, so that way you can be resilient and continue elevating, because there's still work to be done. There's still things to be done. Okay? And so that is the message. If this message resonates, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.